William Shakespeare, the man who never went to a university, but it is next to impossible to pass any university examination centering English literature without reading William Shakespeare. Whether it is UGC NET or any other teaching examinations like KVS, EMRS, NVS, TGT, PGT and many more, Shakespeare becomes the most significant writer from exam point of view. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will try to focus on the biographical details of William Shakespeare, which are important to prepare Shakespeare for these examinations. Though much questions are not asked from biographical details, but these things are important to know Shakespeare. Let me tell you one more thing, that after the discussion, we will attend some previous year questions regarding Shakespeare's biography. So let's dive into the topic without any further ado. As we all know that Shakespeare's life and work belong to the Elizabethan and Jacobean eras, it is believed that he was born in April 23, 1564, and surprisingly he died on the same date, April 23 in 1616. He was baptized on 26th April 1564 at Holy Trinity Church. He was the son of John Shakespeare and Mary Arden, and his father was an alderman and a successful clover. And Shakespeare was the third child of their 8 children. Stratford-upon-Avon was the place where Shakespeare was born and died, and this is why he is called as Bard of Avon. The word bard means poet. He was also known as England's national poet. If we talk about his education, most of his biographers agree that he was educated at local grammar school. At the age of 18, he married 26 years old Anne Hathaway, with whom he had 3 children, Susanna and twins Hamnet and Judith. Unfortunately, Hamnet died at the age of 11. If we focus on his career, about the year 1586, he left Stratford and went to London. From 1590 to 1610, he produced most of his plays. At that time, he was a shareholder of a playing company called Lord Chamberlain's Men, and it was the same company which later changed its name as King's Men. It happened after the crowning of King James I in 1603. Shakespeare was also associated with Globe Theatre and the Blackfriars. When Globe Theatre was built in 1599, he was one of the chief shareholders and most of his plays were acted in Globe Theatre. Now, if we talk about his works, it is generally believed that he wrote 37 plays and 154 sonnets. Apart from these works, he also wrote 2 long narrative poems and other short poems. I will discuss his works in a detailed way in another video. It is going to be a series on Shakespeare. Now let's focus on today's topic. Most of his plays were written as quarto text, which means on a sheet of paper folded 4 ways. In 1597, he purchased a residence known as New Place in Stratford, and about the year 1610 to 1611, he left London and returned to Stratford again. Till his last breath, he was in Stratford and he was buried in the chancel of the Church of Holy Trinity. There is an epitaph on his grave. Epitaph means an inscription on a tombstone in memory of the one buried there. On his grave, the epitaph was inscribed as, "Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares the stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." It simply means, do not dig around my grave and disturb my bones, and if you do that, you will be cursed. And it is generally believed that this epitaph was written by Shakespeare himself. Now, let's direct our attention to the first folio of Shakespeare, which was published after his death. In 1623, John Hemingway and Henry Caudle published his first folio, and 36 plays were published within it. All of you heard the name of Ben Jonson. He wrote the preface of Shakespeare's first folio. Here, Jonson praised Shakespeare, calling him not of an age but for all time. We truly believe that this comment is really appropriate for William Shakespeare, the unparalleled genius of English literature. His works are not confined within his era, they really capture a timeless quality. The first folio was dedicated to William Herbert and Philip Herbert. After that, the second folio was published in 1632 and the third folio was in 1663. Now, it's time to focus on some previous year questions. As you can see on the screen that the first question is Shakespeare was born at Stratford-at-Avon, Stratford-upon-Avon, Stratford-in-Avon or Stratford-on-Avon. This is very easy to answer. The trick is on the preposition only, but we all know the right answer, which is option number B, Stratford-upon-Avon. The next one is, at what age Shakespeare get married to Anne Hathaway? And we all know that at the age of 18, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was then 26 years old and the year was 1582. So, the option C will be the right answer. The next question is, which one of the following theatre was owned by Shakespeare where his masterpieces were performed? Option A, Globe, option B, Curtain, option C, Rose, option D, Wooden O. We all know that Shakespeare was one of the chief shareholders of Globe Theatre. So the answer is clear. It is option A, Globe Theatre. Next question is, total number of sonnets Shakespeare wrote? 123, 104, 142 or 154? We all know that Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets, 37 plays and 2 long narrative poems. So the answer is option D, 154 sonnets. Next one is, the first folio of Shakespeare's plays appeared in which year? We know that first folio was appeared in 1623 and the second folio was in 1632 and the third folio was in 1663. So the answer is option number C, 1623. While solving these questions, we are also doing revision. Next question is, what was the name of the house of Shakespeare in Stratford? And the answer is option A, New Place. Question number 7. The first folio, the first collected edition of Shakespeare's plays was edited by whom? Option A, Heminges and Thomas Sackville. Option B, Nicholas Udall and Thomas Norton. Option C, Nicholas Udall and Condell. Option D, Heminges and Condell. Let me tell you one thing, that Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville collaboratively wrote the first English tragedy, which is Gorboduc, and Nicholas Udall wrote the first English comedy named Rough Roster Doyster. So, the first folio of William Shakespeare was edited by John Heminges and Henry Condell. We know that. So, the right option is option number D. The next question is, in the first folio edition of Shakespeare's dramas, which play was omitted? Means which play was not published? The answer is Pericles. We know that Shakespeare wrote around 37 plays and among them 36 plays were published in first folio edition. Pericles was not included in the first folio. The next one is, the first folio of Shakespeare's works had a poem as preface by whom? Option A, Shakespeare. Option B, John Heminges. Option C, Ben Jonson. Option D, Henry Condell. We know that Ben Jonson is the right answer. It was just an overview of Shakespeare's biography. I will be discussing each and every important point regarding exam perspective in my upcoming videos. Till then, stay tuned, and if you like the video, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you.